Hey! This video is part of the NationGen MagicGen series, which is a MagicGen game, meaning that all of the spells in the game are randomly generated. In this video, I'm going to be looking through the death spells. Let's start in Conjuration. Nothing at 0, good start. Level 1, we have a D1 mage, can do a ritual for 3 gems to summon 21 plus 3 dispossessed spirits. I mean, hey, that's not bad. If you start with some death gem income, why not? Make us start getting some dispossessed spirits. Have a couple of hundred of those by the turn 6 of the game. Sounds nice. We also have a combat spell. A D2 mage can spend a gem to summon a reanimating released king. So released king is from hidden underneath, I think. So it's the warrior version. So 2 of them. The summoned creatures are able to reanimate those killed by its attacks as soulless. I mean, that's pretty nice, right? It's pretty early. Might as well. Gives you something to use your death gems for in combat. Level 2 then, lots of really easy to cast spells. You can conjure vampiric shadow soldiers in combat. So 2 shadow soldiers with a 5 damage life drain. We have a ritual to do a Mound King for 2 gems, always nice. You need some undead leaders. We have a D1 Water 1 cross path to summon an Unfrozen Lord. So that's the Hidden in Snow leader. 200 cast time. And a ritual for a D1 mage with 1 gem can summon 11 plus 9 shadow soldiers. Great scaling. Yeah, you could summon all kinds of shadow soldiers and dispossessed spirits really early, why not? Level 3 then, D2 mage with 2 gems, summon Black Servant, gives you a scout, always useful. 4 we have Enlisted Adventurers in combat. So D2 mage with a gem, can summon 3 adventurers in combat. So can be useful, because some of these guys are mages. Some of them are just dudes though, so you know, roll the dice. At 5 we can call an Ether Lord in combat. So it requires D3 S3 and 2 death gems. How many do you get? Just 1. But you get an Ether Lord Commander. I assume that's the ones with magic, right? I mean, I mean, if it's gonna take you a D3 S3 mage and 2 gems, I'm gonna assume these are the guys who come with magic. Yeah, Ether Lords are very good units. Level 6 we have Knowledge of the Dead. So a D3 mage can spend 14 death gems to do a ritual. What does this do? Reveals all magic sites in the target. Wow. So that's Akashic Knowledge. Pretty interesting. Level 7 we can conjure Shade Beasts in combat. So a D3 mage, how many do we get? Let's see. Oh, just 6, okay. Well, you know, that's something I suppose. And Well of Misery is also in the spellbook. So D6, 80 death gems, gets you Well of Misery. That we all know and love. Level 8 then, these are all pretty hard to cast. So D4 mages with 3 gems can summon fast casting Lampades. Or is that Lampades? You get 4 of them. So these things are really good mages, right? Nymph of the Underworld that wields a torch of Banefire with some skill in Death, Astral, and Nature, yeah. The summoned creatures are able to cast spells significantly faster than normal. The creature casts spells 100% faster. Damn, that's crazy. You get 4 of them too. It seems like it would be sick. It's a shame they'll be unscripted, but yeah. Fast casting Lampad. 4 of them. How many? That's only... I mean, a D4 mage and 3 death gems. I mean, you could put a lot of those on the battlefield if you had a bunch of death mages. It would be cool. A D4 mage can also do an 11 gem ritual, Terrifying Shade Beast Ambush. Is this an assassination? The caster summons a Shade Beast from this Shadow Realm and sends it to ambush an enemy commander. Yeah. So an assassination from a Shade Beast that has Fear 18 might be pretty good. It's pretty expensive though. We have Released King attack as well, so a D5 mage can spend just 2 death gems. The caster summons a Released King to attack a hostile commander in a distant land. The creature summoned by the spell is selective when choosing targets, and may decide to turn on its summoner instead. Ah, that's why it's so cheap. I was wondering why a remote assassination was only 2 death gems. So it checks at most 8 random commanders in the targeted province without replacement. It has a 50% chance to skip over a given commander if they are not horror marked. If no target is successfully selected in the designated province, the creature will attack the caster instead. I've forgotten which spell this is based on, but there's a spell in the base game that does this. I just can't remember which one it is. Yeah, but there it is. Interesting. And Release Kings are the hidden underneath guys, I think. So they're very, very strong. We also have a D6 mage with 20 death gems. Send Vampiric Dispossessed Spirits. Holy shit! So you attack a province with 106 plus 9 per level Vampiric Dispossessed Spirits. The creatures will attack anything in the target province, including friendlies, and then disappear. That is a lot of Dispossessed Spirits. Dispossessed Spirits aren't amazing units, but that is a lot of them. Cost you 20 death gems and very hard to cast as well. Funny though. What do we get at 9? Let's see. In 9, a D3 mage in combat can conjure Withering Shadelords. So you get 7 plus 1 Shadelords. These are death mages, right? Shadelords are powerful ethereal undead which can strike through their victim's armor. I think they're death mages as well, I could be wrong. Oh, maybe they're just those mundane ethereal commanders that you sometimes see in Aves. Not quite as impressive if so. But there we go. It doesn't take a gem though, so you could just spam that. It's like it's a pretty brutal version of a horde of skeletons. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Yeah, because they're all ethereal and they all maybe much stronger than skeletons. A D5 mage can also spend 2 death gems to summon Troll Seathbrenders in combat. 5 of them. So that's a bunch of troll death mages. Pretty cool. And a big one. So a D7 mage with 82 death gems can put up a global enchantment called Deathly Transformations. In each friendly land province, there is a 7% chance per point of friendly dominion that a single sight-searching commander transforms. What do you turn into? So you either turn into a Draining Shadelord, Infectious Wight, Infectious Leviathan, Shrunken Poison Golem, Terrifying Released Warrior, or Terrifying Wight. Sounds pretty funny. Quite late in the book though. But that would be cool to get off. Alteration next, let's see. So I don't think it's 0. Level 1 we have Stygian Vapor. D1 mages can do an Invuln Cloud. So that'll affect the whole square for 4 turns. Pretty nice, pretty early. Level 2 we have Spectral Body. So 200% cast time, the caster cast ethereality on themselves. Also pretty nice. So you can pretty easily, all your death mages can just easily be ethereal and invulnerable, which is cool. We also have Death Transmutation, so a ritual that, I assume this turns death gems into gold, looks like it. Pretty nice. Level 3 we have Reanimating Liquefy. D1 Water 1 mages can... Oh, interesting. So this is range 15 plus 5, 200 cast time, affects 1 person, no precision bonus at all. Deals 999 points of untyped, unresistible damage. That's kind of cool. Those kill will rise as soulless beings. Oh, MR negates though. The caster turns the substance of one enemy into an oozing pool of liquid. Death is certain if the spell is not resisted. However, ethereal beings are unlikely to be affected. The spell is imbued with dark magic that causes those slain to become reanimated as soulless. Well, that's a cool spell. I hope there's like upgraded versions of this later on, that would be cool. An improved resist cold. D3 mage, 1 gem, gives you AoE 21, plus 3, 5 cold res. Level 4 we have a D1 A1 mage can do a 7 gem ritual to become Deathly Creature. Oh, that's sick. The caster must pass a special MR check or die. The caster becomes 9,000 years younger if successful. And they transform into Overcharged Oxhead, Shrunken Banelord, Terrifying Corpse Construct, Withering Black Serpent, Servant, Large Oxhead, Overcharged Apparition, Large Shura, Seasonal Ghost, Stygian Shura, or Stealthy Hound of Twilight. That's really cool. That's pretty cheap as well. If you have any D1A1 mages, you can transform all your dudes into cool stuff. I like that. We also have a D2 spell in combat, cost 2 gems. Spectral Warriors. Is this yep. So AoE 10 plus 1 Ethereality. Also very cool. Only 125 cast time as well. And yeah, that's pretty easy to cast as well. Just D2 and 2 gems. Yeah, very nice. As long as you're not up against any magic weapons, there's lots of protection in here. Level 5 then, every D1 mage can do eye loss. So range is 20 plus 5, 200 cast time, it's 100 precision on one person. MR negates, unless resisted, the spell permanently blinds one enemy. Blindness spells are always quite nice against thugs. You're getting raided. You just stick D1 mages in your provinces to blind them as they come in. Fire's always good in the vanilla book for that. People don't usually use it very much. Also have... oh, is this an upgraded version of Liquefy? Cool. So D1 Water 1 Death Gem. Range is 15 plus 5, AoE 5. So AoE 5 save or die spell. Very nice, I like it. We also have Improved Death Transmutation. I assume this is a better version of the gold spell, yep. And Soul Vortex is in the book, cool. So 200 cast time though. But yeah, Soul Vortex. Pretty easy to cast too. Nothing at level 6. At 7 we have Invulnerability, requires D1. AoE 4, Invuln 25. Pretty cool. Again, yeah, lots of protection against mundane stuff. 8 we have Haunting, Reinforced Bone Horde. A D1 mage can spend a gem to give the entire battlefield blunt resistance with plus 5 natural protection to undead. And then if you fail a magic resistance roll, you also get a 5 fear aura. Very cool. Very cool. That's just a D1 mage. So pretty much any death mage can do all the buffs, basically. That's really nice. All those dispossessed spirits you've been summoning can get some blunt res and protection, and maybe a fear aura. And we also have Fog of Weakness. A D3 mage with a gem can do AoE 37 plus 5 Lingering Floor Cloud. That lowers your strength permanently by 3. Oh, I wonder if that means if you stay in the cloud, you just constantly lose 3 strength every turn? Because that would be pretty brutal. The mage damages the life force of the targets, making them permanently weaker. The spell forms a cloud on the battlefield and all those within it are rapidly subjected to the spell's effects. Yeah, I think that's just going to zero out people's strength if it happens more than once, right? That's pretty funny. That's a huge cloud as well. It looks like it affects everything as well. You don't resist it if you're undead or anything. What's at 9? Let's see. Again, a D1 mage can spend a gem to do Desiccated Army. So, bark skin for all friendly units. That's cool. And also, the total opposite. If you have D6 and 3 gems, you can give all your friendlies Invuln 25. Yeah, pretty cool. Alright, nice spells. Evo next. So nothing at 0, nothing at 1. At 2, oh, we have a bunch of blood crosspaths, that's cool. So 2 we have D1, B1, Sanguine Touch of Shadow. This is range 3, AoE 1. Precision 100, so it's going to hit, but very short range. 25% cast time. And it does 15 plus 1 points of armor negating MR negates damage. That also raises you as a soulless being. And also makes you bleed. So yeah, if you get onto a death mage, they're gonna hurt you pretty badly. I guess the blood adds the extra bleeding effect on top. 3 we have Reanimating Netherblast. A D1 S1 mage can spend a gem to do... This is range 35 plus 5, 125 cast time, AoE 4. Only a precision of 1 though. Yeah, a big... Same sort of thing, only instead of bleeding, it also does Feeble Mind. So yeah, really nice spell. If you manage to land that on the back lines, could potentially Feeble Mind some mages. Maybe a Pretender if you're getting rushed. Always fun. Level 4 we have Hellish Blast of Darkness. This sounds cool. So D1B1 Crosspath requires 1 Death Gem. Again, this is the armor negating damage. So range is 25 plus 5, AoE is 4. Big load of armor negating damage that also banishes you to Inferno. Also very cool. Yeah, 2 spells that would be nice to spam on aggressive early pretenders. It would be very funny to get those off. Level 5 we have Banefire Blast. So requires fire as a crosspath this time. And 2 death gems. So range is 40 plus 5, AoE is 5. 175 cast time. Precision of 2. It does 32 plus 2 points of armor piercing magic damage. No resistance though. That's very nice. Also does a big decay on top. Very cool. If you've got some nice Deathfire crosspath mages, that is a really cool evocation to chuck out. Or potentially you could do Reanimating Banefire Ball at level 6. Let's see this one. So range is 35 plus 5, 100 cast time, AoE is 1. None of these spells seem to have scaling AoE, which is interesting. Yeah, the same big chunk of armor piercing magic damage. Also raises you as a soulless being. And then again, also does the area decay. Yeah, if you have D1, F1 mages, that's going to be a really cool spell to spam. We also have Shadow Bolt, requires D2. So, ooh, 50% cast time, AoE 2. Yeah, more nice, cool armor negating damage. Also raises you as a soulless being. Yeah, lots of cool evocations. And we have Reanimating Banefire. Damn, that's a lot of damage. So AoE 1, 55 plus 5 scaling points of armor piercing magic damage, no magic resistance. Damn man, having death and fire it would be sick for evocations. These are really cool. Imagine just spamming this. This is AoE 1, that's just a huge chunk of damage. What's the fatigue cost? 20? It's not even that bad. Very cool. Level 7 then, a D4 mage can do Geysers of the Underworld. I wonder what this is. Requires a gem. Wow, okay. So this is very long range, 65 plus 5 per level, 125 cast time. It does 9 plus 1 projectiles, I assume, and they all have AoE 1, so this is very big coverage already. Very inaccurate though. Minus 8 precision. So you pretty much just want to chuck this into large armies. And it does 12 fixed points of armor negating magic damage. You can resist it. It lingers for 4 turns in a cloud as well. Yeah, this is a lot of coverage. Those killed will rise as soulless beings. It then also does decay, which lingers for 4, so more cloud. And then AoE 10. Is that AoE 10 for every square that gets hit? Linger 4 for shortened lifespan. So, Geysers of Deathly Energy, damage those who enter them, raising them as soulless. In the same square, you must make an MR check or become decayed. Those in an AoE 10 around a geyser, approximately 1 square, must make a magic resistance check or be aged by 3 years. Cloud created of the spell inflicts a third of the final damage rounded up. The cloud affects those standing within it every... Alright, so this does... Does that do 12 upfront damage and then does 4 damage per turn? That's pretty cool. Pretty hard to cast. It's an interesting spell though. Yeah, you have a lot of really cool stuff to play around with if you go up evocation. Nothing at 8 then, and at 9 we have some big ones. So D4, F4 can do Rain of Banefire for 2 gems. So very long range, kind of long cast time, AoE 1, number of effects 30. That's a lot of coverage, but it's extremely inaccurate. Minus 20 precision and it's inaccurate. There's 36 plus 2 points of armor piercing magic damage with decay on top. Shadow Blast as well for D4 mages. Scaling AoE. So this, did that require a gem? Yeah, 2 gems. So 25 plus 3 AoE. 18 points of armor negating magic damage. Those killed rise as soulless being. 1 damage scaling. And Decomposed Fluid, also D4, requires a gem. Ooh, some poison damage. So range is 40 plus 5, 125 cast time, area of effect is 19 plus 2 per level. You have 18 plus 2 points of armor negating poison damage. It also does a fear effect on top. That's a cool one. I like that one. Gives you a different damage type and also does fear. Fear's a nice secondary effect to have. Very cool. I like the middle of the book spells. Then Decomposed Fluid is pretty cool as well. Construction next. So quite a few spells in here. At level 0 we can conjure Vampiric Corpse Constructs in combat. A Corpse Construct with a life-draining attack. 200 cast time though. That's probably worth casting early on, you know, when you're expanding. Gives you a D-Mage or something to do. We can also conjure Corpse Constructs, so this is just 2 of them, but they're not Vampiric anymore. We also have Construct Haunted Statue. A D2 ritual takes 20 death gems. Creates a permanent magic site which allows the recruitment of necromantic initiates. D1 mages. Pretty nice. At 3 we can do improved Conjure Corpse Constructs. Upgrades it to 3. 100% cast time as well. Getting close to Horde of Skeletons level. And also improved Summon Corpse Constructs as a ritual. So 5 death gems summons 17 plus 2 Corpse Constructs. At 5 then we have a D3 A2 mage, can do Pestilent Corpse Construct Ambush. Sounds like an assassination. Range of 4 provinces, 3 death gems. Yeah, this is a remote assassination from a Corpse Construct. Anyone wounded by the weapons of the summoned creature becomes diseased. So that might be kind of annoying. It's very cheap to cast. Corpse Constructs might kill some things, some mages, depending on how lucky you are. It's a very spammy spell anyway if you can cast it. It's only D3. You could probably test that out a few times on an enemy army, see if it's working or not. Doesn't cost you much to try it out. Level 7 then we have Undead Citadel Construction. A D5 mage can spend 60 gems to build a citadel. Very nice. Always useful to have fort summoning spells. And level 9 we have a big Deathly Weapons ritual. So a D4 mage can spend 6 gems to... The recipient gains death weapons, inflicting 18 armor negating damage and causing disease with all attacks that are not natural ranged weapons or AoE attacks. Well, that is very cool. That is very cool. If you get all the way to level 9, stick that on your thugs, why not? 18 armor negating damage and causing disease, with a magic resistance check on both. Cool stuff. I like these spells in MagicGen where a mage casts something and they permanently gain a buff. It's very cool. Enchantment next. So traditionally, the undead school of choice. It looks like a lot of spells. I'm gonna go through these ones quickly. Let's see. So we can raise Soulless in combat. You get 3 of them already. That's pretty cool. 200% cast time. We have the Reanimation Ritual. Okay, that's a lot of yellow text. If you ever wanted to know exactly how reanimation works, here it is, guys. 7 plus 3 effects for 1 death gem. Yeah, lots of chaff early for undead. And resist poison. AoE 1, 10 poison resistance. Nice. So, level 1 we have in combat, Restore Undead. Is this healing for undead? It is. Big 35-point heal. 25% cast time as well. AoE 3, 35 heal. Very nice. Raise Long Dead. Cast it, get a skeleton in combat. Improve Raise Soulless, gives you 3 Soulless in combat. Life After Death. So this is AoE 1, Life After Death. That's very nice to see that early. 200 cast time. Yeah, all these are really easy to cast. We can conjure Dispossessed Spirits in combat. Gets you 1 Dispossessed Spirit for 20 fatigue. We have Improved Reanimation. Upgraded version of the Reanimation Ritual. Still very cheap. We have D2 Mage can do Reforming Flesh in combat. So this is AoE 2, 200% cast time, 10% regen for undead, even if they are inanimate. And Conjure Putrid Mannequin. So mannequins are cool. 200 cast time, 40 fatigue, gets you a mannequin that when it dies, emits a burst of disease over 5 squares. Yeah, that would be annoying to fight into, wouldn't it? Bunch of things bursting on you and diseasing all your troops. Level 2, a D2 Mage in combat can give themselves 10 cold res, 100 cast time, very nice. At level 3 we have Improved Life After Death. So every D1 Mage can do an AoE 3 Life After Death. Very nice. Only 35 fatigue as well. You can also animate Ancient Bones in combat for a death gem. Gives you 3 released ones. I think those are the hidden underneath. And I think, what are the Hidden in Sands guys called? Maybe these are the Hidden in Sands ones, I don't know. But one of the extremely good skeleton dudes anyway. 3 of them in fact, for a gem. Probably going to get some use out of that if you can cast it. We also have Advanced Raise Solus. Oh, there is the big upgrade to Horde of Skeletons. 9+1 Solus for 30 fatigue, pretty good. That's only at level 3 as well. We could yet see something crazy. And we also have a D3 mage can spend 2 death gems to conjure Stygian Long Dead Horseman in combat. There's 250 cast time and 2 gems, but it gets you 8 Long Dead Horsemen that have Invuln 15. So yeah, that might also be pretty good. You could be fighting into a lot of chaff pretty early if you go up against the Death Nation. Level 4 we have Animate Ancient Bones in combat. So 3 released warriors for a gem, pretty good. We have a ritual to do Arm Severing Desert Bones. So a D1 E1 mage can do Dustwalkers. These are the Hidden in Sands guys. So 6 death gems gets you 5 Hidden in Sands units that also cut people's arms off when they hit you. That sounds sick. That's a great death gem dump. That's amazing. The Bone Tribe guys can cast that if they come with Earth as well. Seems like a really nice death dump. What else we got? D2 mages in combat can improve Raise Long Dead. So 4 Long Dead. This is Horde of Skeletons, right? Oh, no scaling though, interesting. We can conjure Zizzers in combat. D3 A2, 1 death gem gets you 3 Zizzers. 250 cast time though. If you need something big and flying, don't they have Fear Auras as well? Zizz are pretty cool actually, that's kind of early. That's not bad. And a D3 mage can also spend a gem to do Resilience of Undeath in combat. +4 magic resistance for everybody? Cool. I thought this was only going to affect undead, but no. Just all friendlies. So anti-magic basically. Very nice. Level 5 we have Call Vampiric Released Sage in combat. So that's the hidden underneath mage, I assume. E2 E2 gets you 1 of them. It is also vampiric though, I'm not sure if that's going to be useful or not, but there we go. Animate Reanimating Desert Bones in combat. D3 E2 mage can spend 2 gems to get 9 +1 per level Reanimating Dust Warriors. Yeah, so these are the Hidden in Sands guys that also reanimate those killed by its attacks. Pretty good. And Rigor Mortis is in the book as well. Requires D5 and 3 gems. 400 cast time puts up Rigor Mortis. Always a nice one. Nothing at 6. At 7 we have Frostfend. D1 mage can spend a gem to give all friendlies 5 cold resistance. Very nice. And Unrefined Warriors of Terror. Requires D1, no gem. This is AoE 9 +1 per level Fear Aura. So you can give a lot of troops Fear Aura if you want to, but if they fail a magic resistance roll, they then become stunned for a certain amount of time. Even so, that is a lot of fear to put on people for, I mean, every single death mage in the game can cast it. Might be worth doing. Some very big spells down here then, so let's see. A D5 mage can do a 9-gem ritual called Behemoth Ambush. I assume this is a remote assassination from a behemoth. Yep, looks like it. 4 province range. It could be cool. They trample, right? Is that what it says? A giant undead elephant that tramples its enemies. Yeah, that could certainly crush a human-sized mage pretty easily. A D5 Water 3 mage can spend 11 death gems to send Frozen Bones. So I assume this is the Hidden in Snow dudes. 15 of them +1 per level that attack everything in the province and then disappear. That's probably going to take out a lot of PD. We have a D5 mage in combat that can do Warriors of Terror. This is AoE 15 +2 +5 Fear Aura with a 12% cast time. So if you really want to give all your troops Fear Auras, there's the spell for you. Kind of hard to cast though. And a D6 mage can do a 110 gem ritual. I assume this is a global. Looks like it. So, generates 9 D6 death gems, as long as there is a friendly province that is not under siege. That's a lot of death gems, and Well of Misery is also in the book, so you could potentially have up 2 death gem generating globals, which would be very funny. 9 then, what are the big ones? Let's see. So a D4 mage can spend 2 gems in combat to do Metabolism of Undeath. It just gives all your friendlies 15 poison resistance. That's a lot of poison resistance. We also have Improved Cold Warding, 12% cast time, AoE is 9+1, only 20 fatigue, 15 cold resistance. Yeah, so if you get all the way to 9, you've pretty much got poison and cold resistance covered quite easily. And also a D6 mage, no gem, can do Improved Warriors of Terror, 17% cast time, 22+3 per level, AoE, Fear Aura. Yeah. That's a lot of Fear Aura. Nice buffs. Very late though. There's Enchantment. Thaumaturgy next. Quite a lot of spells here as well. So we have Control the Dead at 0, AoE 1 Charm, affects Undead, 200 cast time. We have Terrifying Wither Bones. So this is a pretty good spell for level 0, damn. So range is 30+5, cast time is 100, area effect is 1 person. Oh, it is 0 precision though. They're probably not going to hit very often. But yeah, 15 points of armor negating damage that only hits undead, and also does fear, although most undead are going to be immune to fear, right? Well, maybe not most. I mean, a lot of the kind of spammy undead are going to be immune to fear. Although, I guess a single target version of Witherbones is not really all that useful against against spammy undead, is it? This is good for taking out undead thugs, I think. And Burden of Age. So a D2 mage in combat can spend a gem to do AoE 8, Precision 100, Decay, I assume? Looks like it. That's quite nice. Level 1, wow, a lot of these are quite spammy early on, so every kind of death mage in the game can do Vampiric Frighten. So AoE 1 Fear Effect, 100 Precision. It also does Life Drain. That's very cool. Yeah, that's a really nice one to have spammy on all your death mages. And Incapacitating Dust to Dust. So anti-undead spell in AoE 1 with a 200% cast time. It also does Theft of Strength. Failing this check causes them to lose 4 points of strength permanently. Pretty cool. 2 we have Touch of Withering Bones, so a very short range version of the anti-undead spells. Range 3, 25 cast time, AoE 2. We have Improved Control the Dead. 50% cast time, AoE 1, Charm. We have Agitating Deathly Fever. So this is AoE 3 Disease that also does Fear. That would be really annoying to get spammed on your troops. Spiritual Communion. Oh wow, so Death has their own Communion spells as well. So this is Communion Slave. So this is for every unit on the square as well, since it lingers. It forms a cloud. And what's the Master version? The Master version is also a cloud. Lingers for 4 turns. So that's pretty interesting. Death Communion is nice. And Panic is in the book as well. D2 gives you an AoE 13+1, Precision 100, 200 cast time, Fear Effect. Pretty nice. I think there's different values for Fear though, right? It would be nice if the yellow text said how much Fear it is. I think that's... Isn't there like a 2 Fear and a 5 Fear or something? I can't remember. I don't think you can give Fear numbers though, right? You have to use the in-game Fear effects. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's a small Fear effect and a big one. It'd be nice to know which one that is. Level 3, Rotting Asphyxiate. D1 Mage can do... Okay, this is armor negating damage. Doesn't affect water breathers, undead beings, or inanimate beings. So this is suffocation damage, I guess, for air breathers. That also decays you. That's pretty nice. It's 100 range, 100 cast time, 1 person, but it is only 1 precision. So it might not hit very often. We have Dust to Dust, so a D1 mage can spend a gem do a big AoE version of Dust to Dust. So 7 plus 1 scaling AoE, 15 points of armor negating damage against undead units. We have Suffocate, a D2 mage, can spend a death gem to do a range 100, precision 1 again, AoE 6 version of the Suffocation attack. So 11 plus 3 points of armor negating magic damage. MA Negates doesn't affect water breathers or undead or inanimates. And Spiritual Guidance, what's this one? Let's see. So a D3 mage can spend 2 gems to do a ritual that increases the range of death rituals. That's kind of cool. Pretty cheap. You're going to be casting a lot, you can just put this up for 12 turns in a nice province. 4 Dark Knowledge is in the book, D2, 2 gems, range 6. Search for death sites. We have Improved Dust to Dust in combat. So a D3 mage can spend a gem to do range 40 plus 5, 250 cast time, AoE 14 plus 2 per level, Dust to Dust. 21 plus 3 points of armor negating magic damage against undead. Pretty cool. Slay Living, a D3 mage in combat can do what looks like Soul Slay. Well, without the Soul Slaying effect. But 100 range, 100 cast time, 100 precision, 999 points of magic damage against living things if they fail magic resistance check. It doesn't Soul Slay you though. And School of Ancestors. So 20 death gems, a D3 mage can put up a ritual that can only be cast in capital provinces, reduces a permanent site which any commander may spend a turn entering to grant 10 experience to themselves and all troops under their command. Very cool. So it's a enter for training site. It's pretty early. I mean, why not? You got some dudes you want to turn. I mean, getting XP on stuff can be quite good. You just don't get the chance to use it very often. Level 5 then. A D3 mage can spend a gem in combat to do an AoE 4 version of the 999 damage spell. Pretty cool. Why is it reanimating? Oh, those killed will rise as soulless beings. Okay. Cool. Level 6. Oh, foul errors in the spellbook. No. A D5 A3 mage for 75 gems can put up the foul global enchantment. Level 7 we have Soul Drain in the book. Requires D7 and S3 and 5 death gems. Can put up the Soul Drain battle enchantment. Very fun one. Level 8, a D1 mage can do Slay Group. So yeah, this is just an AoE 2 version of the 999 damage spell. Every D1 mage can cast that if they get there. That's very cool. It would be sick to hit it. And there's also Hemorrhaging Wind of Death. So a D4 B2 mage can spend 4 death gems to hit the entire battlefield, including friendlies, with decay. MA negates easily. And then also cause bleeding as well. That would be pretty brutal actually if it hits on certain compositions of army. Yeah, decay and bleeding. That's sick. Wait, what is that? That's D4 B2 though. I mean, it's going to be hard to cast that. Vampires would enjoy casting that spell though. And at level 9, the big ones are Curse of Undeath. So a D3 mage can... Wow. Okay, this might take some investigating. Let's see. So it's range 55 plus 5 per level. So very long range. 100 cast time, 100 precision. Pretty cool. It's AoE 4 and it's a charm effect. It doesn't affect undeads or inanimates. MA negates, charms you. Okay. So it charms you. Then what does it do? It does Necromantic Imbuement. Which does something, not sure. It then does Removal of Life. Okay. So it then basically kills you. Since that's 999 points of magic damage with no MR roll. Okay. So if you've been charmed, something happens to you and then you just die. And then Tireless Death occurs. And then Restore Corpse occurs, which is a heal. Alright, let's see what this is doing. So those failing a magic resistance check become charmed, yep. Then given life after death and killed. Becoming fully healed and reinvigorated in the process. Ah, I see, okay. So it's basically a charm effect that turns you into the life after death version of the unit. So it turns you into a soulless, but it charms you. Any victims that survive the battle remain in their new undead state, yeah. So that's very cool. But it's basically just charm. But instead of charming the unit in its natural state, you charm it as a soulless. That's a lot of effort to implement that spell. But yeah, that's very clever. I wouldn't have thought that you could implement it that way. I guess it's weird, yeah, because it's very hard to make spells damage friendlies, but I guess if it starts as an enemy, and then the damage is being done as a secondary effect, it just works. It's so weird to see a spell that kills you and then heals you and stuff. That's very clever anyway. Oh, MagicGen, man. What was that? Was that Curse of Undeath? Curse of Undeath. D3 Mage can do that. What else we got? D4 Mage can spend 3 Death Gems to control the dead. Wow, the entire battlefield gets charmed. So only affects undead and MO negates easily, but even so. That's pretty cool. And we have Mass Curse of Undeath. So a D7 Mage, if they hit Thaumaturgy 9, can spend 5 Death Gems to, let's see. Oh wow. A battlefield-wide version of that spell that charms everyone as soulless. That is very cool. Range 75 plus 5 affect the entire battlefield. That is very cool. Requires D7 and 5 Death Gems, but that would be sick. I would love it if someone has built their entire Pretender around casting this, and just rushing up Thaumaturgy, and just teleporting into armies and casting this. Just put all of the penetration items on them. Yeah, that's amazing. Probably never going to see that in the game, but it's cool that it's there. That's my verdict. And blood magic? Nothing in blood. So there we go, there's the Death Spell book, some very fun things in there. Not sure if we'll get to see them, but you know, cool anyway. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Death Spell book. Hope you're enjoying the series, thanks for watching, and I will see you around.